We'll do it live. Hey, it is a Monday morning, take 2 on the live stream on July 10th. Just wanted to do a quick little channel update, answer some questions that were posted on the channel, and let you guys know what's been going on or what's on the agenda here. I'm using a different iPhone, or my older iPhone, and I was silly enough to install the latest iOS 11 beta, which is officially coming out this fall. But having developer access, I foolishly thought that a beta software on a phone to do live stream would be awesome. We'll see how this works. Hopefully it will come out nice. So yeah, so I just wanted to go over a couple of the comments that people have been leaving on the channel, and I kind of like doing these channel updates and questions things when I'm doing the live stream. And I know a few of you usually pop in once in a while, and I do see one person there, so thanks for jumping in. So we'll get to it right now, and I'll show you a couple of the things that I'll be doing later today, because in between jobs at the moment, I not quit. My last day at my previous job was on Friday, taking a week off, and then I start the new job next Monday. So I figured this week was to get a lot of the backlog done. So my goal here is to produce a lot of videos. I know I've been kind of slacking off the last couple weeks. We've been doing some family car camping and just spent a lot of family time, just trying to enjoy ourselves. So we actually got a camping trip this weekend here in Prince Edward Island, so that's kind of fun. So anyway, let's move on with the comments here that have been posted on the channel or on a number of videos over the last couple weeks. If you got a question there, if you're watching, just post it, and hopefully I'll see it scroll through. So there was one question here on the improvised underquilt for hammock camping. And a person was asking, have I ever used it and wrapped it around the hammock as an underquilt? And I haven't necessarily, but I did use it in conjunction with a ranger's blanket to make a DIY underquilt, and that worked kind of good. The big problem with these emergency blankets when you use it as underquilt, you don't have any insulation. You're still going to get cold because that air just going underneath you there. So it's you know, as much as we would have hoped, using an emergency blanket as an underquilt doesn't quite work. Now, wrapping it inside of you, inside your sleeping bag, inside your hammock, then that's a little bit different, right? Another question was on the eTrex. A lot of eTrex 20 questions. People have been buying the 10, 20, 30 for a little while, maybe because of the price point, which is really affordable. So one of the questions was, they did an update on Garmin Express, and when they rebooted, it said missing a software system, and they were wondering what to do. Now, I don't have the specific steps because this is one of the few things that you need to call Garmin support for. And the reason for that is because they will typically email you the firmware or the exe or the image file, whatever you need to do when you plug in to your Garmin, to your USB, and then you just drop it into the folder, and then the system kind of reboots. So it kind of means that there's a corrupted image file in there, so you kind of need Garmin's help. You could try to find the images on the forums and stuff. It's something that it hasn't necessarily happened to me, but I think it's just easier to just call Garmin support when you do get through and do it that way. So whenever you do see that missing software, especially when you do a legit firmware update via Garmin Express and all that stuff, they tend to be a little bit more helpful than when you try to do stuff you're not supposed to do on the system. Okay, so another question was, how come the resets don't work as they shown in the video? So I have, and this is common comment that I get on quite a few reset videos. So anytime I play with a GPS device, such as InReach or Garmin or Forerunner or Fitbit and all that stuff, I do 2 videos at the beginning. I do how to update your firmware and how to do a reset on it. And resets are a little finicky. Timing has to be right. The fingers have to be positioned just right, and you got to press them in sequence in the right time. So for some of them it's easy. For others, they're very picky. Fitbit are picky, especially when you get to the smaller models where it's a little more finicky when you do the reset. The thing is, the reset steps that I show in the videos are from the manual or the official support forums and stuff. So these are the actual directions that they would give you anyway. So I'm not doing anything magical that's not working. You're just not doing it right. Or you got to do it a couple times. No surprise that when I do the reset videos, I had to do it a couple times to get it just right. So it's not, they're finicky, let's put it that way. Another question here was on the Garmin premium heart rate strap, and they were asking whether, and there was notice that it wasn't compatible with the vivoactive, and that is not quite the right information here. Basically, there are two type of heart rate straps that Garmin offers that are a little bit more high-end, which is the HR Swim and the HR Tri, which I believe they're a little bit more waterproof. You can actually take them out to swim, unless you're like one of these hardcore athletes. So those two are not compatible with the vivoactive. However, the vivoactive does come with the premium heart rate strap to begin with, so obviously it will work for that. So you'll find it if there's a Garmin that supports heart rate monitors or uses the Ant Plus. You can rest assured that any of the heart rate straps that, except for Swim and Try, the regular premium straps will work, including the straps that are 5-6 years old because of the Ant Plus protocol. So that's not a problem there. I had another question here on the Osprey pack. There was a little comment here is wondering if they can fit a 13-inch laptop in the Osprey day pack that I had was given to me, part of the Take It Outside promotion stuff. No, you can't. You can probably just fit a Mac Mini, you know, just a Galaxy Tab kind of tablet. So you can't put a 13-inch MacBook or even a Chromebook in there. So it's pretty narrow. So tablets. Another question here was more how the person who had the frustration setting up a Garmin training plan, and I have a couple videos on that. They've kind of changed things since then a little bit. The biggest thing when you're setting up training plans or custom workouts is that you gotta know what you want to do to begin with. So it's, if you don't quite understand how the steps work of a custom workout, then trying to set up your own plan does become a little bit more difficult. So the benefit or the good part is that Garmin does offer a number of preset training plans for running, I think biking, and I think there's a triathlon too. So they have different types of breakdowns and heart rate monitor or not. So it's pretty easy, and then but basically learn or read up more on interval training and steps and how you build that up. It's something that unfortunately you can't just whip together very quickly. Like right before you go to run club, you're going to set up a number of workouts for the week. You kind of do have to take a little bit of time to set up those workouts. But at least if you start looking at those training plans, it will give you a better idea how the workouts work on your Garmin Forerunner. And the last question that was posted on the channel was where does, when you sync your Garmin Forerunner or your Phoenix via your phone on Garmin Mobile, where does it go? And for a lot of people, they probably don't know because they do a lot of stuff on the phones, that you have a desktop Garmin Connect portal that you can review everything, and all your Garmin stuff is there. And that's where you set up your training plans and all that. So as soon as you sync with your Garmin on your phone, it uploads it to your Garmin Connect profile. That's the desktop version up in the cloud. So if something bad happens to our phone, which was one of these comments here, that they didn't know where it went after they reset, it basically goes to your phone, goes up to the cloud. So it's a pretty easy way to just keep your data backed up. So I know that I'm having some issues with my phone where it doesn't sync necessarily automatically all the time. I kind of have to force it. But it's really good habit to just do it every day. At the end of the day, you just force a sync, try to get connected to Bluetooth so that you can transfer your data. It's kind of inconvenient when you have a couple months of training data and you have to reset your forerunner for whatever reason, and you lose all that information, especially if you're a numbers junkie. You want to see how you're progressing, maybe had a couple personal bests, and all that stuff. So anyway, that's it for comments. I don't know if you can hear the train passing by. It is 9 o'clock, so the 9 o'clock train is passing by. Just quickly show you what I got going on here today. As I mentioned here, I'm just in between jobs at the moment. My last day of the last job was on Friday. I'm taking a week off, and then starting the new job on Monday. But this week I really just wanted to just get a bunch of stuff done, and I know I haven't been uploading as much variety as I normally did, but this week I think hopefully we'll get back into shape here. So I got here right in front of me on the table a couple of things that I'll be recording today, and I also got a box in the truck that we're going to go to another site where there's no cell phone reception. That's why I wanted to do the live stream here this morning, because I know it's one of the few spots where I can actually get some connectivity for the live stream. But just show you basically what I got going on here. So we're gonna do I'm gonna do a little product review on the Petzl Actic headlamp. Had this now for 8 months, and I've been using it, liking it, so I'll give you my thoughts on that. And here's one that has been a year waiting. Here's the Illuminade, one of these lanterns, off-grid lanterns. So I'll give you my thoughts on that. I started getting some accessories for the inReach, because you get your Garmin clip, so you can get a number of the accessories. So if you have like a eTrex or GPS map, you can probably use all the accessories. I haven't tried any of the previous accessories, so but I got the backpack strap, so it has a tether, Velcro, and you're supposed to Velcro it on your shoulder strap, and you just rip it off. Not bad. I kind of don't mind this. This one would be the reason why I got this one is hopefully eventually I'll hit the water. Although I should have grabbed the kayak today there, but don't worry, it's coming. We got late season here, so the mystery kayak will be revealed. I promise. I promise. And the other accessory, which I haven't had a chance to strap on yet, which is the handlebar mount. So this goes on to the bike. What I've been doing with my inReach lately is I've been just building waypoints, collecting a lot of waypoint information when I'm out doing the or a hike. So if you were to check out my Twitter yesterday, I was out on a hike, and I was just collecting waypoints. So if you go on my Twitter timeline, you should see a couple of map share links, and you'll see what I'm trying to do with cataloging or collecting field notes. And that's going to be an upcoming video to show you how you can use your Garmin inReach SE Plus or the other ones to collect field notes. So I want to get some accessories so I can strap it on when I actually get on the water, and also when I use the bike. And the reason for that is I'm kind of want to update some information that I have on the ebook. So for those who are not local, I do have an iPhone app and a ebook that I have as for hiking trail guides, and been spending a lot of time learning GIS and maps. And I think I told this story before, but I got into the habit, or I wanted to do an update, because it's been a year and I wanted to update some trails and some information. And I did a lot of, I have to make some big decisions what to change. So I decided to change the layout to make it more nicer, I think, and more scalable. What I have out right now, if you have an iPhone or an iPad, it's free. You can download it. Just search for Nova Scotia Hiking Trail Guide, and you'll be able to get the multi-touch version. Now, a few years ago when I put out the book, multi-touch tablets kind of made sense, but now we're really into our phones. The tablet thing is not quite there. I mean, we use tablets at home, but we're just not there yet. We're more of a phone, and the book looks terrible on a phone, especially even on the Plus, 6 Plus, 7 Plus. It's not made, wasn't made for that. So I changed the layout to be more iPhone friendly, and also try to make it in the EPUB version so I can update the copy that's in the Amazon store. So spending quite a few hours on it, and you probably notice, oh, why are you doing it if the book's free? And you're like, man, that is a very good comment. Why am I doing it? So check and look at the copies downloaded. Wasn't bad, a few hundred copies. I'm on the small market. I didn't expect, and definitely not getting a lot of support from the community too in terms of help me promoting it. The people from the community have been downloading it, trying to give me their feedback. That's not a problem, but it's the establishment that's not helping me out too much. But anyway, the point is, I wanted to just rejig a number of things so that it still is a vehicle to help promote hiking trails, and people are still finding it, people are still looking for it, so it's kind of hard for me to drop it. So anyway, point is, the multi-touch book, if you have an iPad, download it now, because I think I've just made the decision that I'm going to take it down. I'm going to replace it with the EPUB version, which there used to be a version on there, so download that. It'll still be free, but I think I'm just going to change how much time I actually put in preparing each of the listings, specifically spending the time with the GIS and making the map. So I'm just fiddling around, and really what I've learned is that a lot of people just want the GPX file, they want the Google Earth map, and they want the waypoints so they can load it onto their GPS. And I've been always kind of holding on to that data because it's my data, but I think it may be time to just package things up a little differently and see where that goes. So that's an ongoing project. I would love to update the iPhone app. I just don't have time to do it myself. If somebody out there watching can do iPhone app development, I just need one screen updated, let me know. Might even give you some money. Alright, so what else we got going on? Oh yeah, so the last thing that I got here, another product that I just got recently, and I've been using it, and I'll give you my thoughts on this. It's one of these things here. This is I'll show you this. This is a USB powered lighter. Yes, it's an arc. It's a arc thing. Tesla. I don't know. So you charge up with a USB plug. So yeah, I got this. It wasn't terribly expensive. It was like 20 bucks. And yeah, tried it out. So I'll give you kind of my thoughts. I'll play around with it more a little bit today. But anyway, that's what's going on. And in the truck, I got another bin. We've been, as I said, doing some family camping for the last little while. Well, for this season. And this was a good excuse for me to buy a whole bunch of new stuff. And there's a couple of things that I got that has been working out great for us, and we'll share you with that. So as you can tell, there's going to be quite a bit of outdoor related content. It was really funny because we've been doing our camping, and I'll do hopefully do this weekend the tent review, this long-term review of the tent. And it's funny because we've been having this conversation for the last little while on upgrading, going to the next level, and we were tempted with the RV route or travel trailer route for the last month or so, and then we found that we kept getting smaller and smaller. And it's really had to do with the type of camping that we do, the type of campgrounds that we like around here, the type of mobility. And of course, the stuff that people haven't been telling us is all the hidden maintenance costs of maintaining a trailer, and insurance and registration and parking it and storage and all that stuff. So what I think we're going to end up doing is just spending a lot of money on a really good tent. And I think we've, and I mentioned this before, we had it down to a couple tents, and we had there was an Eureka Bon Echo Tour 600. Now I think that is Canada only, but it's a Eureka, which is a little thicker, which I thought was pretty nice. We're kind of leaning towards that, but I think we're going to go for the Kodiak canvas tent. We're going to go for a cabin tent. I think it's 10 by 10 plus the screen awning at the front. It's going to be ginormous. Ain't cheap, but that's the whole point, is to get something that's really good, it's going to last. So hopefully we can get our hands on it. It's not available in Canada. We're going to have to go into the States, pay a premium, and make a trip and declare it at the border and all that stuff, because the shipping's going to be like insane, so because it's so heavy. Anyway, folks, I think that's it. we're going to pack up. We're going to head out to the other location. We're going to shoot the videos for the items I showed you here. Put down a comment. Let me know how things are going. And hope you guys have a good week. And there will be some videos on Sunday. So we'll talk to you guys later. And this is the most awkward ending because I got to do the finger. Here we go.